rivalry game. He wants to take down the Dick because the Dick tried to screw not only him but the rest of those bottom feeder teams by allowing the Mofos to win. To him, it's personal. And he's got a few tricks up his sleeve. I spoke with the management of the Boone Humpers. He is excited about this matchup, and he knows exactly what he's going to do. I look for the Boone Humper to win.
One other point to highlight there, I think you've got a battle of two candidates for the GM of the year. We'll be back on this show next week talking about who won that, and then we'll probably at the same time reveal who was the GM of the year.
But your votes have to be in already.
Somebody's going to have a rare one.
Is there a
Oh, that is hurtful.
Is there a monetary reward for GM of the year, or is it just a pat on the back?
Yeah, we don't award any cash prizes on this show.
Oh.
This is all just done out of merit. I think our reputation speaks for itself. I think that should be plenty.
It's worthless.
If you're looking for handouts, you know.
Talk to Obama. He's good at that.
Go sell a few street sheets. Go.
Up next, Peaceful Warriors taking on the Mofos.
Blowout. Peaceful Warriors. Move on.
Peaceful Warriors are projected 159 points.
Wow.
Mofos aren't projecting that bad. They're projecting 125. What the hell has the Peaceful Warriors done to project 159 in the first round of the playoffs?
It was a busy week. It was busy this week. Believe me, with all the calls about the fiasco last week, with all the merchandise that comes in. I walked out here with a Mofo shirt because I'm impressed with what they've done. We bagged on them on this show week in and week out with a lack of depth, a lack of roster strength. They win 3 in a row, a controversial win in there, but still, it was valiant. They make it in. They look good. I'm wearing the shirt, but wow.
Wow.
You project 159 in the playoffs, and you don't have Redonkulous standing in your way. This could be the team to beat in the Peaceful Warriors. They've got that running back depth that everybody would want come playoff time.
Well, I'll tell you one thing about this game. I believe the Peaceful Warriors are going to win, and they're going to win handily. And I believe that it's time for the Mofos to bow out of this, the playoffs. They should never even have been in the playoffs. This team has sucked from the start, and they sucked till the end. And they won because they were lucky. And it's about time that they got their ass booted out of the playoffs. I'm no fan of the Peaceful Warriors, but I certainly am no fan of the Mofos. Your team sucks, and you're lucky. Get out of this league. We'll see you next year.
Who's up next, bud?
The Rollers. Projecting 138. The Goods are projecting 107. Geez, the Goods suck. The Rollers going to win easily. The Goods, your team is trash. Maybe you got a job and you can't do your business, doing your projections of where, you know, your waiver wire work. But you know what? You've got a bunch of alien receivers on your roster. That team's out of it.
The Goods were a team that we really liked a few weeks
We
back.
did. I put my I said yeah.
We almost anointed them as the team with the best receiver core we've seen in years. Maybe possibly ever in this league. Turned out possibly not. And Andre Johnson's hurt again. AJ Green battled in for a couple of weeks. That team's starting to get into that cold weather. They're facing their tough opponents. Bungles maybe aren't scoring the same amount of points. Marquez Colston, disappointment off the waiver wire.
Well, and Andre Johnson, you know, he injures his leg again. It's like, guys, you gotta water it. You know, if this guy ain't doing this, you gotta find that guy who's doing that, and you're not doing none of nothing. You still got, what is it, Mark Ingram?
Yeah, he's really stuck true to some of these horses in the running game. He hasn't had that RB2 to really propel his team. He's relied on those receivers. Matt Ryan's been inconsistent. He's hoping Matt Ryan has a big game. I look at this game. How can you pick the Goods? They've lost 3 in a row. They did their very best to get themselves out of the playoffs and still made it. I don't like them at this point. I think the Rollers have the edge. 142-117, Rollers take them down.
And let me bring one other thing up about the Goods. I remember, not last week, and not the week before, but the week before that when they were playing the Fire Spinning Jimmies, and they left half their team on their bench because of waiver wire.
That's right.
And people said, "Oh, great goods, you left this on." And he wrote on the smackboard, "Well, I can't. I need him for the playoffs." Well, you have them for the playoffs. Let's see how good they do for you, goods, because you're out in the first round.
That's a really good point. You keep Joe Flacco on your bench and wash out a victory, a potential victory, and then now you've got Matt Ryan, the Flacco combo in the playoffs.
Playoffs? I mean, no, there ain't no playoffs for you, bud.
Enjoy that diaper mess.
But we have had, this has been a quicker show, and we've enjoyed talking about it. As we move forward, what are the trends that we can expect as we, these NFL teams, people are going to have to, Packers, are they going to bench Aaron Rodgers? I mean, they're going for 6-0. What is the view of like these teams that could clinch? Do these fantasy teams need to worry about?
I mean, this is the trouble in fantasy football. I mean, we saw this with the Peaceful Warriors a couple years ago when Reggie Wayne became an afterthought come playoff time because they'd won too many games.
Yeah, they just keep on winning.
I don't think it's the case this year. I think Green Bay is on a mission to go undefeated. If they don't, the Niners are clipping.
Yeah, and the Saints are clipping on the Niners.
And the Saints are right in there. It's too tight. We're not going to see any resting of players, any drop-off, any of that.
And the same goes for the AFC, would you?
Until at least week 15, 16. And even then, I just don't see it. I don't see it affecting fantasy this year. At least, yeah, and in the AFC as well. There's just no runaway teams.
And if a fantasy manager isn't looking into that already, then they probably don't deserve to be in the playoffs.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're spending your time worrying about the waiver wire rules and you're picking up garbage off the waiver wire itself, then you...
i.e. Marion Barber.
Then these things don't concern you, and you're not... you're probably not going to get to the second round of the playoffs, but...
Playoffs?
We'll see.
We will see, everybody. This has been a lot of fun. And our first playoff edition of the Fantasy League Fantastical Roundtable, but it's been a heck of a lot of fun.
You know what it's been?
What?
Fantastic.
Hey, everybody. Water that garden. Keep on fantasy.